Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. When Jesus was. When Jesus was. When my Jesus was. He washed my sins away. Oh, happy day. Oh, a round of applause. No. I'm kidding. I'm actually not a singer. I'm not a good one. And I'm still a neophyte. I want to be best. I've met a lot of good singers, people around me, people far from me. So I know I'm still a baby, still having this baby work, emulating them. Okay. Well, today is another day. You're welcome to my channel. My name is Chukwuemeka. If this is the first time of joining me, you are highly welcome. The only thing you're gonna do, and that's the cherry on top of the cake, is just to click on the subscription button. Reason being that it's gonna bring us near. You know, when you're near to someone, you understand the person, you actually commune with the person. So we commune. Whatever video that is new, you'll be the first to say it, okay? Any of my audio clip, you'll be the first, or video clip, you'll be the first to say it. Well, today let's dive into our topic. And the topic is, there are important ingredients in a relationship. Like you've seen my previous video, my vlog really centered on financial crime, relationship, and sometimes the relationship that I talk about is the one that is lived because I also experienced it. I'm a learner in the journey, so if we are talking to each other, we are learning from each other. Even, I don't know, probably most of the coaches on YouTube, they've not really issued that disclaimer. I think there's no one solution fit all, you understand? So I would just say that I am also learning from experiences. You know, experiences really surround us. We have mammoth experience around us, you know, so we learn from each other. And for the fact that we are willing to learn, we are also willing to change, we are willing to improvement, we're willing to different things that will help us, you know. So today we're going to talk about, from last time, what we talked about was the importance of respect in a relationship. In fact, I end up saying that respect is one of the core ingredients that holds love, understanding, trust, open communication. It's actually very important. Without it, it's more like a table standing on two legs. You know what will happen. You know, it's definitely going to crash land. So today, let's talk about what are those ingredients. What do we need to do? One of the things that we need to do is that we have to talk about our goals and dreams. You understand? If you have a relationship with a girl you love or a man that you love, you have to talk about your goals. So these are what are your individual and shared aspirations. What do you have in mind? What are your aspirations? You understand? And that aspiration could be, well, I want to be this, I want to do that after this, after that. You know, it's not one thing or the other, but the both of you have varying ideas. Sometimes, coincidentally, it happens that both of you have the same sort of goal, target. You understand? So then you ask, what do you want to achieve in life? And life per se is the living, the one we are staying on earth, and afterlife is again. For me, I feel that without afterlife achievements, the living on this corporeal earth is not important. So I always want to make heaven. That's my aspiration. So I know some people also have it. But let's say, what about here on earth? What do you want to do? What do you want to achieve? Is it that professionally or personally? What do you want to achieve? You understand? I want to be a lawyer. I want to be a doctor. I want to be an engineer. I want to be a tradesman. I want to be anything, you know, that is going to give you fulfillment in life. And then you now say, how can you support each other in pursuing that goal and dreams? So you will talk about the next step. How do we become supporting network? How do we have this sort of mindset that will augment or consolidate each other's efforts? It's very important. And another thing you will talk about is, even if your goal differs, you will actually have a rallying point, a place where you say, okay, this is what we're going to do. Let me give you an example. My understanding of having a relationship, if I should marry my wife, and she's the kind of person that is busy oriented, for me, if I'm not doing much, I could dedicate time to taking care of kids or taking care of the house chores. It's not a big deal. Some people say, oh no, a man cannot do that and all that. But in this present world, you have to really rejig. You have to talk with each other, and you have to bounce off of each other's time, effort, and all that. So secondly, again, people tend to use this as a deal breaker. But however, for me, I've had discussion with people that I've met in my life that tell me about finances. I am big on finance. Even I've worked with one of the 5 big banks in Australia, Westpac, and I went on to become part of the management trainer in St. George Bank. So I know about finance. Finance is always a big problem sometimes almost most of the time in a relationship. But for me, I think that shouldn't be a problem. People talk about how to manage money. Some people feel that management of money should not just be, it's a gray area that people should tread with care. You understand? But I don't think, if there is understanding, finances actually could be taken care of. And these are questions you ask. How is your spending habits? How can you spend? How can the other person spend? You understand? And how is your saving strategies? You have strategies around savings, and you have budgeting plans. You have how to budget, how to say, okay, this week we're going to spend $50 to buy house groceries, and I'll take baby product and all that kind of thing. So you just have to talk about it. You understand? And how do you split your bills? I am also big in helping. My kind of person, I take responsibility. I don't necessarily feel that we should have this tailored way of say, okay, you spend, I'll spend this, you spend that. For me, I am organic. I don't know if it's because of where I came from or my family orientation. I got this sort of, a man should help out in the family, should provide, should do all sorts of things. But in the Western world, there is this sort of sense of specialization, distribution of goals, duties and all that. So this is very sensitive. And another thing again is, how do you handle debt? If you have debt, how do you handle it? Like loan investments. In the Western world, it's almost practically impossible for you to avert loans, because some people buy houses with loan, and that's why you see people end up living in the house forever, they are still paying their mortgage, so because the Western world is like that, people owe money for 40 years, 50 years, even till they pass it on to their children. But if I were to say, it's better not to even involve yourself in doing that if it's a problem. You understand? If it's a problem, because sometimes if you pass it on to your kids, it's like a burden. What if they're not doing much as you're doing? So another thing again is, what are your financial goals and challenges? You just have to talk about it. The next thing again you talk about is sex and intimacy. I have had a lot of relationships that I believe that sex is important, yes, but I tend to de-emphasize the need for sex. And I am not perfect at that, but I just feel like and I'm not saying for the people that are non-Christians, I'm not saying that it's the best, But I feel that abstaining from sex while you're pursuing marriage, it's okay, it's good. It's good. In fact, if you can do it, it's the best. You understand? However, even if you cannot do it, but there should be decency in understanding that the relationship is not just about sex. And you understand, it's not just about sex, it's about that you're marrying someone that will be part of your life, that will impact positively. Even sometimes you have ups and downs, you understand, that's the person. And hate it, like it, dislike it, do anything you want to do, you will be with the person forever. If we have this mantra of for life or till death do you apart, you understand. So you talk about how if you married, then like I said, I could abstain from sex for a long time until marriage. It is, if you can do it, it's a bonus. But you should have to talk about how do the both of you satisfy each other, and what are your sexual needs. You have to talk about the desire, fantasies, and then you talk about how frequent would your sex life be. How can you expect? Because some people, sometimes they do not communicate like orally, like the way the partner will understand. Sometimes they'll have this sort of funny attitude because they're not satisfied or because they need sex more than the other person and all that. So there should be discussion around that. It's not a taboo. Let me deviate a little bit. I could remember then when we were kids, if you said you are, especially for a lady, if a lady says she's in her own period, it's a bad thing. My mom said, shut up, you know. But this time around, sex education in a family is very important. You have to talk about it. Then you talk about how do you express love and affection. You also talk about how do you deal with sexual issues or problems. If there's a problem, you talk about it. You have to be open, you know. And another thing again that is very important, and this I've had that, I will give you an example of what happened. That is about family and friends. For this one, I think it's very significant. And if you are doing something, getting distracted from watching this vlog, please come nearer, leave what you're doing, listen to me. This is very important. So you should ask, how close are you with your family and friends? How close are you with them? Are you closer to your family and friends? Which is very important, because sometimes the way you have fraternity with your family shows that you can handle your new family. That's very important. It's also a problem, but I will go to the problem later. Then how often do you see them and talk to them? How often do you talk to your family? I always encourage my girl, I always encourage the person that I love to always talk to the family where it's necessary, you know. It's not when you marry, you know, you move on, you forget about everybody, you understand. But also there's a caveat there. I will talk about it later. So how do they influence your relationship? We are getting there. How do your family influence your relationship and friends? Then you also ask, how do you deal with family and friends that don't approve your partner relationship? That is where it comes. I've had a relationship that always almost got to a point that is nosedived, where family members dictate where you marry from. They kind of have this bad idea that these people from this particular place have sort of like a bad attitude, so you shouldn't marry from there. They don't individualize, and once you have relationship with that kind of person, their family are always somehow like doubters. They never believe in you. They try as much as they can to get something, a wage, you know, something like a problem between you and your couple. They will tell you a lot of things. Probably tell, oh, this person doesn't have good height. You should look for somebody that has good height. But I've never seen where height really ensured happiness. You know, they will try to impugn your character. They will even try to relate their own misfortune. If they have misfortune in their relationship, past relationship, they will project it onto yours, because they would like you to always look at life as an exit, They don't see the need for you to build your family. And sometimes they end up being mistaken, because you cannot live, even if you are somebody's parent, you cannot live their life for them. And at the end of the day, the person will have himself or herself to be blamed, because the person is looking for someone who has height. The person pounds at your relatives at any given time when they feel that probably that is not how their family will not tolerate it. They won't be doing something with their own honest sort of antecedents. There's nothing like real there. They will be doing it because my family said this, or my family will not approve this. But what about you? So then you have to balance. The solution is that you have to balance your time and attention between your partner and your family and friends. Friends also have another poisonous, sometimes good, but let me give you the poisonous part of it. I've had a relationship where I visited my partner, and when I got there, I now discovered that all about me, the discussion about me wasn't rosy, wasn't good. In fact, the relation about me never sound as if I am even in the picture. So when you have such friends like that always tell you, in fact, that the outside is greener, there's a greener opportunity outside. They kept telling you they will never advise you around going further, helping your family, helping whatever your relationship that you have at hand to grow. Then beware of that friend, because the friend will never live with you forever. They will take to their heels once you start having issues with their recommendation, because they will give you recommendation. They will ask you, go party with us. Let's party. Forget about him. He's partying. They will tell you all sorts of things that will make you get gingered. You do things that are outside the scope of your decency, because you are not like that, but they will force you to do something like that. So once you start seeing it, if you can reflect back, you have to be careful. I'm a kind of person that I really keep a lot of network of friends. Sometimes I say maybe it's not good, because I feel that sometimes it's good to be social too. Not that I'm not social, but I try as much as I can to avoid drama, especially drama that has to erode your relationship, that has to come into your personal life or your family life or anything that you share that is there. I don't like it, but some people, before they realize this, it's already late, Again, you have to talk about your values. That's the last one, your values and beliefs. What are your values and beliefs? A lot of Christians always say that, are you yoked with the same person? You kind of, as a Christian, you have to marry a Christian. Yeah, it's true. It's very true. But sometimes you have to also know that people could be amenable to change. People could always want to change their life for good. And sometimes you are not in the same pedestal, value, belief-wise, but you could impart each other. That could also be anchored in what I said last time, respect. If you have respect, you can actually submit to each other's values, beliefs. You could impart on each other easily. So you ask, what are your morals? Do you have good morals? What are your ethics? What is your spiritual or religious belief? It's very important. It's very important to have those discussions. And how do those things affect your decisions and actions? As a Christian, there is need for you to know that you are not perfect, but you don't live in a sin, so that whatever you're doing will keep growing. They call it, you can't live in sin for grace to abound. You understand? You have to make effort to change. You have to make effort to better your life. And you have to also use your life as a Bible, as a way to really change other people's life. Or if other people see you, even you don't even commune with them, you don't talk to them, communicate with them rather, they will also see change in you. And another thing again is that you have to respect each other's values and beliefs. When someone is still trying to catch up, you have to encourage the person. You don't have to condemn the person. You don't have to write the person off. You just have to encourage the person, because the both of you are a team. You understand? So then you actually have to talk about how to engage yourself in dialogue. How do you handle conflicts or disagreements that arise from values and beliefs? My value and your value may differ, but it doesn't mean that we cannot get to a point that we see each other eye to eye. When a relationship understands this, that there's nothing. I used to tell my partner then that actually nothing whatsoever, even if it's where we are, location, profession, beauty, facial resemblance, whatever it is, monetary values, whatever it is, nothing can actually assuage our love, because our love is stronger than those things. Nothing will make it lesser. Nothing will destroy it. It is a pinnacle that has stand, because the love is the bond you share. What you agree with each other is a bond. That thing should be sacrosanct. You understand? So disagreement, conflict around values and beliefs should be handled with care. And if you're handling it, you don't look at it as if it's competition. So this is all I have for you. If you have anything to say or suggest, you should do the same. Please click and the comments bar, leave your comment. I'm gonna read through it. I'm prone to, because I have this itchy. All today then. See you. Bye.